mini vlog leading up to my May 30th bodybuilding show, day 49 of 75. So for day 49, we'll talk a little bit about peak week, which is the week leading up to a bodybuilding show where everything that you do is geared towards looking your absolute best on show day. So first, we got to define what best is. So in terms of bodybuilding, best means having really big, really full muscles that have very little water outside of them. So you want your skin to be incredibly tight and dry, and you want your muscles to be incredibly full and big. So pretty self-explanatory there. So there's a few ways that we manipulate this, or that we try to manipulate this. So basically what we want to do, like we talked about, is force as much water into our muscle cells as possible and remove as much water outside of our muscle cells. So the main driver that is talked about to do this is glycogen. So glycogen comes from the carbs that you eat. So carbs get converted to glucose, get stored as glycogen partially in your muscle cells. So every gram of glycogen holds something like, I think it's 3 to 6 grams of water. So the more grams of glycogen that you have in your muscles, the more water that holds, the bigger your muscles look. So we want as much glycogen in our muscle cells as possible. So one practice that people use that I'm gonna employ for peak week is what's called carb loading. So early in the week, the first 2, maybe 3 days of the week, what you do is you deload carbs. You take carbs down to something incredibly low, like less than 30 grams per day. Keep fats higher, keep protein relatively normal, maybe a little bit less than normal. And then on the 2 to 3 days following that, you're gonna increase your carbs super high. Some people go as high as 800 to 900 grams a day. And what that does is, if you pair that with intense exercise, you essentially theoretically, you force a ton of glycogen into your muscle cells. And then if you manipulate water properly, then that water gets pulled in as well. And then you find ways to deplete water outside of your muscle cells. Then you get the end result that you're looking for, which is full muscle, tight, dry skin, very good show day appearance. So that's what I'm going for. I got to figure out the right strategy. It's probably late in prep to figure out the right strategy, but I'm a procrastinator, so it is what it is. Day 49 of 75 complete.